What's up, my crypto friends? Well, what do you know? Bitcoin is back at 30K. What an insane ride yesterday was, completely out of the blue. We talked about a lot of liquidation levels on this channel yesterday. I did not expect them to smash right through them so fast. I thought it would take a few days, but anyway, here we are. I want to go through what I have marked on this chart because yesterday was quite hectic. We were just readjusting liquidation level after liquidation level as price just continued to smash through all of them. So I want to talk about what's left, what the price action is doing right now. Will we get a pullback from here, or are we going to just keep going up from this point? It was really quite funny yesterday. I did a TikTok, I'll insert it here, but I did a TikTok as we broke through 30K showing the 𝗟𝗶𝗃𝗵 all lit up, saying that Dubai is celebrating Bitcoin hitting 30K, but I was lying. They light the Burj up every night, so it was just like a normal thing. But I was like, Dubai celebrates Bitcoin at 30K, and people believe me. So sorry for my fallacies. But anyway, let's get into what is going on. If you're new here, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. Big shout out to the TTC tribe. We have been trading this range like absolute market makers ourselves. And here we are. Let's talk about what's going on. So what I want to show you, going back to yesterday's video, I honestly can't even remember what liquidation level I had pointed out to you guys on yesterday's video. Let me just see if it can kind of make sense. So I think we were about here somewhere. Yeah, it would have been around UK session before we had this breakout, and there was a level there up at the high of the day. So that one was of interest to me because it was at the high of the day, and you can see that we spiked into it initially. So this little sell off here, this is what you have to look for the immediate reaction when price gets to a liquidation level, especially a high one, because that's just when you have that initial sell off, that's just those liquidations getting filled, right? So you have to wait for the follow through from there. And if you have a sell off like that after we hit a high level liquidation level, then you want market structure to change after. If we continue to have higher lows, then it's not changing and it's looking like it's going to come back for that level again. So you don't short on these alone. It's way too risky, especially when you're in a parabolic rise, but you prepare for it. You prepare your case in advance. And that's exactly what I did. I actually was waiting for this and was going to wait for a multi-session M formation. And if we got something like that, I was going to short, but we didn't get it. So you just stay long, so you always prepare for the move that you're going to make, but you've got to wait for your actual final trigger to take the move. I think a lot of the times people read social media updates or things like that and say, oh, you said it was going to go down. No, I'm preparing a case in advance. And if I get the trigger, I'll short. If I don't get the trigger, I stay in my current position. So that's basically what happened here. We didn't get the actual trigger because we didn't get a lower high. We didn't change market structure. So you just stay long. And the very fact that price just continued to hold the 20 EMA, like I said yesterday, 10 and 20 EMA, extremely bullish if price is holding that. So definitely was not a good area to take shorts. I think it was around this time I put a note in my Discord saying if anybody does try to short this run right now, I'm canceling your subscription. So I was serious about not shorting. Now, if we look at what's happened after that, US took another move to the upside. The thing is, we still don't have a stopping volume candle, which is why you don't kind of short this blindly. Like, you really need a stopping volume candle to stop the volume, to stop the momentum to the upside. That gives you the hint that that's all the market maker wants. Then you change structure from there. Now, if I go down to the 5-minute time frame, we do have a high volume doji, I believe it was. Yeah, right here. It's a blue vector which shows momentum slowing down, and it closed as a doji, and there was a little bit of a volume spike here in that. So that was the best I had for a pullback, and was waiting to see if price pulled away, came back and failed to get back into that zone. And it did that right here during the Asia session. But look at this price action on the 5-minute, like this, it's just not going anywhere. What you'd like to see is a follow through after that. If you get your stopping volume formation, price pulls away, you get 1, 2, 3 hits in the attempt to get back up into the zone within the inside right side that creates the inside right side of the M. You get a lower high, you end up with something that looks like a bit of an M formation like this. But the next step is to break the 50 EMA with volume, and that becomes drop level 1. Now, yes, we had a volume drop right here, and potentially we're in a board meeting, but now you have to look at the context, right? If this is a 3-level drop here on the 5-minute time frame, that's the only only one that's playing out because there isn't SVCs on a higher time frame, then any kind of 3-level drop is going to be tiny because it's only the 5-minute time frame. So it's possible that this is a board meeting right here and that maybe there are 2 more drops to come, but it could just be that they only want to recover vectors around here, or that they only want to come back to retest the initial low of the day. Like, this just isn't price action worth shorting, in my opinion, even though you can only identify it on the 5-minute time frame. I would like to see that kind of price action on a higher time frame if I was to believe that there's at least a short-term pullback coming that I could exploit potentially as a hedge trade, while keeping my long open, take a short down to, maybe retest the initial high of the day. That would all be great, but price just isn't giving me that right now. Now, the other thing too is it may come in later today because we have some news events. We have unemployment claims these are Dubai time, just a reminder, but you can go up here and change this to your time zone. But we have unemployment claims at 4:30. Fed Chair Powell's testifying again at 6 p.m. That market didn't care about that yesterday, but who knows what he's going to say today. So you have to be on your toes about that. And then we've got a couple events tomorrow, but these are the 2 main today. So around 4:30 to 6 p.m. Dubai time is when we have to just be a little bit careful of price action. But yeah, in an ideal world, a drop back down on the 15-minute time frame to the 200 EMA would be an amazing place to kind of retest, because it's the 200 EMA and it lines up with the initial high of the day from the previous day. It would just be an amazing retest, but I just don't know if we're going to be that lucky. One other thing I want to point out is about liquidation delta, because I spoke yesterday about how if these large spikes here are quite close to the current price, they don't have to bring price back all that much to liquidate a hell of a lot of money, and they can just do very, very small pullbacks, wipe out a decent amount of people and keep going to the upside. And we actually saw that happen yesterday. So if we have a look at the delta, it got up to about 35 billion when price was here. So it was around 35 billion at that point in time, and we wiped out about 3 billion just in this year. So look, this is not a big pullback. Like, if we go from the very, very top of that to where price is now, or where price came down to create the initial low of the day, it's only a 3% move. So, at this point in time, I guarantee you, if you're watching other YouTube channels and whatnot, they'll be out on the 4-hour time frame. They'll be telling you that the wedge broke. I deleted the wedge because it's a nightmare, but it was here, right? So they'll be telling you that the wedge broke. Now we need to come back for a retest. They'll be looking for levels super low down here at 50 fibs or 61.8, somewhere between, even a retest of this resistance here. So let's just say that they'll say wait for a pullback to 27,900 kind of deal. But if they're able to wipe out billions of dollars of liquidity in a 3% range, they likely won't come all the way back there. So unless this move is completely over, in which case you're not buying pullbacks, you're short trading reversals. We don't know that until you have a retest after a breakout. You don't actually know if the move is over. So look, I don't think there is a short here personally, even on a small time frame, simply because even if you go to the 15-minute time frame, as I said, we don't have a stopping volume candle. We really, really want those. They really do signify that the move to the upside is over. We don't have it, and we also don't have a really nice break and pull away of the 50 EMA. So the safer trade on this, if you do want to trade the pullback, just in case the pullback turns into a reversal, we do want to pull quite decently away from the 50 EMA, then create our retest as the lower high that fails to get back up into this area. Then there may be a short back down to maybe around the 200 EMA retest of the initial high of the day. Maybe. I just think that's a super risky thing to do right now, and you may be better off just trying to initiate patience, because even if price comes down here and if it doesn't break the initial low of the day, there's a good chance that it just goes initial low of the day, bang, back out to the upside, because nobody would be expecting that. Right? And that's what happened with the US price action that I spoke about that on yesterday's video. So if you want more details on that, go check out yesterday's video. But these levels here, initial highs and lows of day, high and low of day, high and low of week, they're very, very important levels. So I don't think that I would risk shorting this. I would rather wait to see if price does come down to the initial low of the day? Do we get a bounce out of there? And in which case you just stay long, or does it break it with a decent amount of volume? Like, we don't want it to just wick below. We want a decent amount of volume to break that initial low of the day, change the structure with a lower high. Then you'd feel more confident that we're going to have an actual more decent pullback. But yeah, just be careful of trying to short. You know, if your reason to want to short is because we've had a big move up, that's not a good enough reason. You know, there has to be an actual market structure change. There's the start of it with a lower high. There is not the end of it with a lower low. So just keep that in mind. Now let's have a look at some liquidation levels above. So if we do continue to the upside, we've got 30,923 is the next one just above this wick. Then we have 31,122. And then we have this one, which I really like, is at 31,733. And the reason that I like that one is because it's right underneath the first target that I spoke about on yesterday's video on the daily time frame. So number one, it's going to come up to this high level of resistance right here. We expect a battle zone there, and it's going to reject right under this liquidation zone right there. So if this move isn't over yet and we get that retest that I talked about and we continue up, keep an eye out for that 31,700-ish kind of level. If we get a rejection there, that might be where you get your more decent pullback. And hopefully this trend continues to the upside to eventually smash through this area of interest to then come for the next one a little bit higher. Now, also with Ethereum, I don't think I posted about this yesterday. I did post about it in the Discord, but 1920 was a rather high level of liquidations that I was waiting for price to come for, and it did come for it yesterday. It's given us somewhat of a head and shoulder here out of that, so that's a little bit more decent. However, look at this, very, very interesting. Remember, I said to you that highs of days and lows of days are significant levels. This here is the high of the day at about 1901, which is the highest point the price went day prior, being yesterday. Being Wednesday, just in case you weren't clear. And we came down here, held, bounced, came back to it, held. So I'm not sure this is going to continue down any further from here, honestly. Like, again, I feel the same way on ETH as I feel about Bitcoin. I understand that we're under EMAs. I understand you can identify head and shoulders and informations, but I think we're better off going with levels on this one, guys, because we're in an extremely bullish environment. So unless we break below yesterday's high of the day, retest with volume, change the structure there, I would be hesitant to short anything right now. Those are my opinions. If you're wanting to trade any of this stuff, check out the links in the description of this video. We've got some pretty good discounts for you guys with some exchanges. OKX currently, it's running out soon actually. They've got up to 60K rewards for completing tasks, and you also get 15% discount off your trading fee. So grab that one if you want to trade on OKX. If you can't trade there's some other options in the description of this video. So be sure to check them out, because besides getting yourself a deal, it does help support this channel and enables us to continue bringing you the free content. And also, while you're there, check out the Traders Toolkit as well, because you can find the details to our website if you're wanting to learn this method in full. Let's have a look at the heat maps and what story are the heat maps telling us. Super clear. Even on this whole run up here, we didn't have massive attempts to short. It was kind of quite crazy. Don't have dip buyers necessarily just yet, so I guess people are maybe waiting for a bigger pullback, but there's kind of nothing to cause a bounce. But also, the highest level of orders we have anywhere is up at 31,000. So maybe people are thinking that price is just consolidating for now. It's going to break out to 31, going to reject there, head down. Maybe that's what people are thinking. But currently short orders are at 31K. When you look at that on the chart, 31K is this high right here from mid-April. So looking like people basically just want to short a resistance. All right, guys, I'm out. Don't forget, tomorrow is Friday. It is close your trades day. You need to decide whether you move your stop losses into profit to protect your trades through the weekend, or you just take your profit and enjoy your weekend. I will see you guys on the other side of it.